And afterwards I was like, did he realize he almost just ran over Jenny Simpson?
That would have been bad.
That would have been very bad. Welcome to Finish Lines and Milestones, a podcast for everyday runners. I'm your host, Allie Bretnacher, and if you run, you're a runner, and every runner has a story. Join me each week as I share these stories and we celebrate finish lines and milestones together. Welcome to another episode of Catching Up with Coach. This is the May edition where I catch up with my coach, Rachel Sinders of Rachel Michelle Running. We talk about my personal running journey and training, a little bit about Coach Rachel's personal running journey, and we also shout out members of the Rachel Michelle Running team who are doing really awesome things as well. So this episode, we caught up about the Indy Mini, which happened last weekend. It was on May 2nd. It was the 50th running. So most of this episode is spent discussing that. And then also we catch up about our Full Mo training, which is both of our first 50K that we'll be running together. It is on our paved rail trail from Sheridan, Indiana, all the way downtown Indianapolis. It's just over 30 miles, so just over 31 miles, I should say. And so I'm getting a little nervous about that. I've got my biggest run of the training block tomorrow, and I'm doing it solo. So I've got a good audiobook. Hopefully that gets me through. But if you are interested in exploring what it's like to have a running coach, listening to these conversations is great, but also you can go to rachelmichellerunning.com to reach out to Rachel, or you can reach out to her on Instagram at Rachel Michelle Running. I have PR'd, I think, every single distance since I've been working with her over the last now handful of years. So can't recommend having a coach enough. And if you're interested in one, Rachel is a great option. And without further ado, enjoy this month's conversation with Rachel. Happy May.
Hello. Welcome to May, the best month of the year in Indy.
Whoop, whoop.
Yeah, we got to kick it off with the Mini, the best race around this spring.
Yeah, it was so fun. So fun. I'm in the midst of my recap, which is going to take me forever because I feel like I did so much and I want to remember all of it.
Mm-hmm. It was jam-packed. So let's kind of do like a mini recap here. You don't have to dive into all the details because you'll have your other recap, but let's touch on the big things and the fun stuff we want to highlight.
Yeah, so it was my 70th half marathon. That's huge.
That is so big.
I know. Letting that sink in.
Yeah, I mean, you just have to think that's a lot per year.
Yeah, since 2007, so almost 20 years.
Almost 20
but still,
years.
It's a lot.
That's over 4 a year. Well,
yeah.
No, 3.
I don't know.
3.5.
Cool.
3.5.
I wasn't going to try to do the math live because I can't.
Yeah, but that's good considering, you had kids in there and everything and life
right,
events.
and COVID and yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. So 70th half was supposed to be on my dad's birthday, April 18th for the Carmel Marathon. But if anybody listened to our April episode, they will have heard about that, right? Yeah. Or no?
Yep.
Yeah,
we talked about
delayed.
That. Mm-hmm.
Yes. I was like, why was it so late? Yeah. Our episode together was a little late. And so we recorded the day we found out it was canceled. So if anyone wants to go back and listen to that. That was fun. But I decided at least my 70th half marathon would be between my parents' 70th birthdays. So my dad turned 70 April 18th. My mom turned 70 tomorrow, perhaps the day this comes out, May 6th, is her 70th birthday. So now it's in celebration.
Happy birthday to Karen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So 2 big birthdays. Yeah, a lot of milestones, which is so much fun.
Yep. That's what you celebrate. Finish lines and milestones.
Absolutely. And you went to the Shakeout with Athletic Annex, didn't you?
Yes. So I guess my week started Wednesday night at the Shakeout, which was amazing. I mean, I cannot say enough good things about, I know Larry put a lot of work into it. So huge shout out to him and everyone else at Annex. But it was a really well done event. So they invited lots of different run clubs in the area, as well as different brands. So there was multiple shoe brands, Diadora, Asics, Hoka, all had shoes that you could try on and wear for the Shakeout. So fun. Never Second to try. So it just really fun to walk around. Of course, Average Athlete was there and More Than Miles. So shout out to them. It was good. I ended up walking because I had run that morning. I'm not really a PM runner.
Yeah.
I like to do my runs in the morning. So I really just wanted to go for the community aspect. So I just walked some. I got to meet actually one of my athletes that is a newer athlete to me. She lives in Bloomington. So she happened to be, she sometimes works in Carmel. So she was working in Carmel, spending the night up here. So she came down. So I ended up walking with her and then Christy D too. But it was really great to meet her in person. So
Yeah. What's that athlete's name?
her name is Christy.
Okay. Shout out to Christy and Christy.
Yes, both Christys.
All the Christys.
One with a Y, one with an I. So my athlete, Christy, was supposed to do Carmel Marathon. So she ended up pivoting and did the 5K half challenge at the mini. So that was her best alternative, I guess you could say, that would work for her schedule, and just put a big bow on that. And we're moving on to the next thing here.
Yep.
So yeah, the shakeout was great. Highly recommend checking out any shakeouts in the future like that, because it's a really fun.
It was really good. It looked really good, I should say. I did a shakeout in Carmel, which I love actually, because then I don't have to go downtown.
Yeah. This one wasn't as convenient, but
Yeah. I mean, I would drive downtown for it had I been available. But yeah, I ended up doing a shakeout that was with Half Past Chai, which is Hallie and Suketu Patel, and Fleet Feet. And they had Jenny Simpson there, world champion, Olympic medalist, 1500 GOAT, like just a huge deal. She's there. She's now working for Fleet Feet. So they had her in town. There were probably only, 20 of us. So it was a really nice, intimate setting to hang out and run with her and see, like Carly Stewart was there, Becky Riley was there. And so it was just so fun. I loved it. And it was, it stopped raining just in time for us to head out. And it was at oh my gosh, what is it called?
MOTW, is
That's
that
right?
right?
Okay, I didn't want to get it wrong. Yeah, in Carmel. So yeah, we ended up going over to the Monon. A truck almost plowed into all of us. And I was like, he wasn't looking, when somebody, you can see that the driver's not paying attention. Like he was looking to the left to see when he could turn and not looking where we were coming from. And afterwards I was like, did he realize he almost just ran over Jenny Simpson?
That would have been bad.
That would have been very bad. So anyway, so that was great. And that really kicked off my, mini. And that was Friday morning, or actually I went to the expo Thursday. So that really kicked it off, I guess. I planned to take my girls down, but then the traffic, I don't know why, was so awful that I was like, I'm not going to drive an hour to get downtown. So then I went later.
That time of day is rough to get downtown.
Which is weird. I would have thought it was like people are leaving downtown, not really going downtown, but it's that split, I guess, that just, anyway. So Zach ended up staying with the girls. So I went solo. And I picked up Lindsay Hine from Bottle Works Hotel, and we hit the expo together. We got there a little after 7, so kind of right before closing time. Okay. And I meant to go meet Mike Vollmer, the guy I had on my podcast who's done all the Indy minis, and I forgot. Just straight up forgot. So that was sad. But I did meet my angel rider just by chance. It was so cool because I wasn't supposed to be there at that time. And it just so happened it was the time she was there. So
yeah. And does she live locally here?
No, she's from Louisiana.
That was surprising that she was already in town on Thursday then too.
Right. Yeah. They came in Thursday, and so they just happened to be there. And I was kind of walking by the booth with Lindsay, and I was like, hey, I'll be right back. We're going to go grab our bibs. That way I don't forget to do that. And she's like, wait, no, this is Lainey. And so then we stopped and hung out there for a bit. And I got to meet Lainey and her mom, Tara. And they're just absolutely amazing. I guess I can just quickly tell Lainey's story from what her mom shared with me. She's 30 years old, born with spina bifida. She had no signs in her pregnancy that there was going to be any issues, which is kind of mind-blowing. 6 months in the NICU, 23 surgeries, and she just loves being a part of the community, being around people, and this was her 134th race.
Yeah, that's incredible. And then I noticed too at the podcast, you mentioned that she's done some like Spartan races even. And I'm thinking like, how?
Right.
An Ironman. Yeah. That's incredible.
Yeah, Ragnar too. So like every kind of race you can think of, I feel like she's tackled or is probably going to. And then my friend Matt May, who I met at Marine Corps with Ainsley's Angels, was also in town from Louisiana, separate from them, but he knew Lainey. And so that was really nice to have. It's fun to see people from the Ainsley's Angels community come from all over for a race like this. We ended up having 55 teams and we wanted 50. So anyway, I digress, but
yeah, it was cool that you got to know her and that she was able to communicate well and stuff too, and express her feelings and, a different type of experience than you've probably had before with other riders.
Yeah. So for people who don't know what Ainsley's Angels is, it's an organization that allows people of all abilities to experience a finish line. And they do so with these racing chariots that, look like a wheelchair, but they're made of like carbon fiber and made to race. And so you push somebody, and usually you have a team of 2. We ended up having a team of 4. We almost had a team of 5. And I was like,
Oh boy, that's hard to stick together. Like last year, it ended up that we had 4, kind of 5. One guy had his cousin just join us.
Yeah.
And it was a lot to stick together because not only do you have the chariot taking up space, but then you're trying to stick with that many people on a pretty crowded course.
Yeah. Yeah. So it worked out great. This guy who had asked to join us, we're like, the girls were like, yeah. And I'm like, hey, I've got a guy, again, Matt May, my friend from Louisiana. I'm like, Matt's running by himself. He runs around the same pace we do. Why don't you partner with him? And so that worked out really nice. They got along well because I checked in after the race. I was like, how was it? Kind of, So yeah, I mean, you and I have had similar experiences, I would say, with Ainsley's in terms of like last year, you got to push your same girl this year, but Emmeline has Down syndrome. She's a twin with Kaylin, your rider. And then the year before that, the first year I ever did it was with Hope, and she's nonverbal. She slept the whole time. And so you can have a variety of different experiences.
And you know what? We had Kaylin again this year as well as last year, as you mentioned, and it was a night and day different experience this year. Last year, I don't know if she just wasn't feeling great. It just wasn't her day. Like she was off or something. And she got sleepy during the race and slept and just wasn't overly excited. I mean, it was like she was a different person on Saturday. She was like pure joy the whole time, just like hyping up the crowd. It was so fun to see, and just she loved it. Yeah. And last year she didn't want to get out at the end, and this year she was like mile 4, she was like pointing at her thing, shoes, ground. She wanted to start running at mile 4. And we're like, well, we have a little bit longer to go. We didn't really want to say like quite a bit longer, but she was patient with us. But she yelled at us so much to go faster.
That's
it
hilarious.
Was so funny. She was like, faster.
Oh, did you capture any of that on video?
Yeah, I tried to. She was just so cute. Yeah.
Yeah. And then she got out at the end, right? At the finish?
She did. Yeah. And we were like, so cool. Okay, you have to hold our hand. You have to hold our hand, because we were afraid she was just going to take off. Like
that's what Emmeline did last year.
Yeah. She was holding Christy's hand because I was holding the chariot. Yeah. And she let go at the end and just like, she went ahead of us. It's so cute fun. Though. Yeah. Yeah. So I know she had a blast, as well as her twin sister Emmeline did too, and they were so cute.
Oh, it's so good. I got to see Emmeline out there, which was nice. They passed us maybe mile 10, like way towards the end. I think we saw them in the middle of the race too. I can't really remember, but yeah, it's nice. The more you do it, the more you know other people in the community too, other teams, and that makes it that much more fun. And we can talk a little bit more about the race too. We can dig in, but I also wanted to talk about the event if we're going to back up.
Let's go back up to that first.
Yeah. So we had Wednesday shakeout, Thursday expo, Friday shakeout, Friday event. So Lindsay Hine and I are doing this thing where every May for the mini and every November for Monumental, we want to host an in-person live podcast event. So this was our 3rd one. So last year we did the mini, we did Monumental, and so then the mini this year. And we started promoting it pretty late. So I was kind of in a panic for the last couple of weeks, just thinking, God, no one's going to come. Like, it's going to be, what are we going to do? And it ended up, we had 70 people there, which is about 30 people less than last year. However, last year we were crammed in there. So it was a full room, and we were so lucky to have Drew Hunter, who won the 5K national championships at the Indy Mini, which is so cool. We had Emma Grace Hurley, who is an American record holder, national champion, who got 2nd place and is now on the world team for the 5K. And then Courtney Frericks, who's an Olympic medalist, who got, what did she get, 4th, I think?
4th, I believe.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Which, I mean, was great for her because she has had a string of injuries and getting back into it. So I was excited to see all of their finish times.
It was really kind of fun to have that, kind of meet them, see them, and then watch them crush their races. It was just really exciting.
Yeah, it was
to kind of tie that all together. It was really cool. And just getting to bring the community together, I love so much. We had to have the event a little earlier this year than we did last year, which I think was kind of weird. So it was 3:30 to 5:30 at Bottleworks Hotel. And for anybody who works a normal job, it's kind of it's like literally right in the middle of the workday afternoon.
Hard. Yeah, it's hard.
So that was kind of a bummer. So the timing wasn't ideal. Hopefully in future years, I don't know if they'll change the time of the elite technical meeting. That's what we were scheduling around. Or if we'll just kind of have to roll with that and hope that we can get the word out and get enough people to take either the day off work or people who come in town, like from out of town. Which
I mean, there are a lot of out of towners. I saw
Yeah.
that all 50 states were represented, and
Yes.
I can't even remember the number of countries represented. So there are a lot of out of town runners that obviously would have the day off. It's just getting to them and reaching
So
them.
we're getting there. I think now that if we start to, have it and people see it, they'll know that it's going to happen, and it'll just be easier that way. But 30,000 runners, they sold out this year. It's like, surely we can get 100 people to in a room. So we did a really good job, I thought, and it was awesome. And on Lindsay Hines' podcast feed, you can listen to the live event.
I highly recommend people go back and listen to that, whether you were there or not there. Just, they all shared such valuable thoughts and like mantras and just insights that I loved hearing. And I personally, I mean, I follow women's running, but men's, I admit, it's hit or miss. So I did not know Drew Hunter.
I didn't
And
either.
I'm a huge fan now. He just is a really good guy and fun to listen to his story and just how he has a really strong faith in his outlook on running now. Like, he mentioned how he had a child recently and that just changed his entire perspective on things, that like running is a gift. It's not something that we have to do, and he feels so much more gratitude now towards running. So it was really
he
great.
is adorable. Just such a great guy to cheer for. And Lindsay's podcast is called I'll Have Another, for anybody who's not familiar. And so the live podcast, and if you search Drew Hunter, you can listen to her interview with him, which was also really good. So I listened to that before the event just to kind of hear more about his story. And I listened to an episode, maybe it was Allie on the Run, with Courtney Freyricks as well, just because I didn't know either one of them, actually. I, of course, knew Emma Grace because she lives here in Indy. We're so lucky to have her here. But the others I wasn't familiar with. I'm getting better at following the sport, but I host a podcast for everyday runners. So that's kind of where my focus is. Lindsay will always be so funny. She's like, you don't know who so-and-so is? I'm like, I don't. I'm sorry. No idea.
But you can rattle off a ton of like just everyday runners in the area.
Right. I can tell you stories about all the amazing people who live here.
Yeah.
Also, Jenny Simpson, who I mentioned just recently, she also came, which was awesome. She introduced me and Lindsay, which my brain, I was just standing there thinking, that's like, Jenny Simpson, and she's talking about me. Like, she was like, yeah, I came here to support Lindsay and Allie, and I'm just like, okay, this is my life.
What is this world? Yeah.
What is life? Really, really cool opportunity. So if you haven't been to one of those events, you've got to come. Who knows what we're going to do at Monumental, but we'll have something great.
Yes,
I'll tell you that.
I'm sure. That made me want to, it was Courtney who talked about writing a word on her wrist. And I loved what she said about her first word, I believe, was fearless. And then second was belong. So both of those, she shared really interesting, cool stories about why she chose those words. So it made me think, like, I really need to come up with a word for the FULMO, because this is a big challenge we're taking on. So we need a focus, something that really like can help us don't die.
Live. That's the word. Live. Survive. I don't know. But we can get temporary tattoos no matter what word we choose.
I loved that idea. They just, it's cool how they're like us, and they all have different ways of like playing these mindset games and having to hype themselves up and to not get overly anxious. And
absolutely. And then we had Jeanette, I forget her last name, but she owns the local sweat house locations. There's two. There's one in Carmel. There's one in Broad Ripple, and now there's going to be one in Bottle Works. And she has a really cool story too. She's also a Run 317 ambassador, and she runs the mini for her dad, who she lost. And so shout out to Jeanette for supporting the event. And I hope she had a wonderful race honoring her dad. It's really special to hear why people run, you know?
Yeah.
So
everyone
it's
has
one of the
their own
reasons
reasons
I do this. So so then what'd you guys do for dinner?
After we mingled and stuff, we went back to our hotel. We were staying at the Marriott downtown. And so Christy, Dee, and I just ate dinner at the Marriott. We had we both got the pasta on the menu and had a nice chill dinner. It was a lot because we both had worked at the expo as well that day. So I was there for 4 hours working, and that's just a lot of stimulation. And then the event, we were like, we just want to go back where it's quiet. Like, we talked about eating at the garage, but it's so loud and lively. We were just, we need some chill time.
Quiet.
Yeah. And we went to bed early then. It was a really early night.
So I forgot to mention Lainey. We invited her to the event when we saw her at the expo and met her. And I was thinking, there's no way they're going to come to the event. It goes until right before the dinner, and the dinner's all the way over at the JW Marriott, which is also downtown, but like opposite side of downtown. And so, but they showed up and it was the best. It was Lainey, her mom, and her grandparents, who are just amazing, came to the event. And so then I was like, okay, well, now I have to go to the dinner, because Ainsley's Angels hosts a dinner for all of their riders and their runners the night before, which I'd never been to. You're going to have to go next year. It's awesome.
Was it great?
So
Yeah.
it was so great. So I got to, see Lainey, Tara, and the grandparents, and then Annie, who I met at Marine Corps, who Matt was pushing. So I got to hang out with Matt and his dad, Oren. And it was just, it's a really cool community. And I think the more time I spend with them, the more comfortable I am too, being there and knowing people. And it's really wonderful. So you'll have to go next year.
I will. I'll make it.
Yeah, it's a lot. It is a lot, though. I remember thinking, oh my gosh, like I'm an introvert by nature, actually. So
yeah,
I'm like,
same here. And I was needing some quiet time for sure, because I knew Saturday was going to be another big day. So
yeah.
But
yeah, totally.
Definitely in the future, I will come.
We got Lauren, my friend Lauren, and I. Lauren is on our team for Lainey, and I met her through my husband. She goes to F45 with Zach. And so she and I went to Garage, got pizza to go, ate a piece, ate a breadstick, and then, Ubered over to the JW. And we got back, I forget what time, but then my friend Ashley and Lindsay, who were the other two members of our team, didn't get to our room until 10 p.m.
Oh my gosh. We were sound asleep by 10 p.m.
I was not, irritated's not the right word, because I really wanted to see them and hang out. And usually I go to bed at 10. So I wasn't, it wasn't way past my bedtime, but I was like, what are they doing?
Yeah.
But they're both moms, got all kinds of stuff going on. They lost their car in the parking garage. They went to the expo. They went to dinner. Anyway, another fun story is that I forgot to bring sticker paper and markers to make the name signs that I like to make. I like to do pen and paces too. And someday I think we should every rider should have a bunch of pen and paces bib kits that have their name on it, that they then hand out to their team, and you can reuse those. And so they should just all have them, put them on your front, put them on your back. It just helps people cheer for you, because the signs on the actual chariot are very hard to read. They like on the sides. There's not really an opportune time to cheer for them. You have to look.
You have to make a point to come up next to someone and look over to see, which some people do. I mean, you still get a lot of cheering, but you're right. It could be even more if you had the name on your back.
So I ordered from Walmart.com. I'm not going to tell you how much money I spent to have sticker paper and a poster marker and packing tape sent to us at BottleWorks.
Oh my gosh.
Because I was like, I'm not going to miss this opportunity. It was worth every single penny, because the number of people that cheered for us. I mean, Lainey was just so happy. Like, she's like, oh my gosh, it's so nice. Like that they know who they say my name. And so, I realize we're running out of time because we got to talk about what's next for us too. But the race itself was just really enjoyable. Like you said, Lainey is very vocal. You can communicate with her really well. We had a playlist that she made that had 8 hours of Christian music on it, which was great. It was great. She did the rally app where she had voice messages, a lot of them from her dad. She was really fixated on the fact that she hadn't started it right away, and so they were off. And so that kind of drove her nuts. But yeah, we had a lot of cheering. We felt good. We rotated every mile through the four of us. Saw so many friends fly by us, which is one of my favorite things.
Yeah, I love that.
Anybody who runs fast, we start the race and then wave one catches us. And so that's really cool. And then we got a donut at the track. Lainey didn't want to kiss the bricks, but I had promised her that there were donuts there. So we got a donut. She loved that. Yeah, we just had a great time. And we had a great actual time of the race too, which I don't know if you had this, but our race time showed as 1:53:21. My watch time was 1:58 something, which
I was going to ask you that.
was what we ran. So for whatever reason, I don't know why our bibs started when the runners went. So we got a 6-minute head start this race because there's so many people. And so that was really the discrepancy there, was my bib for some reason tied back to the clock.
But mine didn't do that. That's
Neither
so
did
weird.
Ashley's. But Lainey's did, and Lauren's did, and Lindsay's did. So it did it to mine last year. Mine was the slow one last year. And Ashley's and Lindsay's both showed that they were 5 minutes faster than me, which is just so funny. Yeah. So I don't know why. Which is annoying for us road runners who are like, I'd like to have my time be my real time.
Yeah. Yeah. So your real time was just right under 2 hours.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. We
Yeah,
were like
so-
right at around 2:10, I want to say.
Yeah.
Which we were talking like, let's shoot for like 9:45, 10-minute miles. And then we found ourselves a little bit faster than that. Most miles.
Course.
We had to stop a few times. It was chilly. We haven't really talked about the
Right.
temperature, but it
Yeah,
was a
it
pretty
was
cool
cold.
day, especially for someone who's just sitting the whole race. So she had a blanket on. Well, it kept like falling to the side. We were worried it was going to get caught in the tires.
Yeah.
Multiple times we had to stop and like readjust that. And
Yeah.
so
yeah.
that wasn't great, but she had to stay warm.
Right.
And the more excited she got too, she was like putting her arms up and going crazy. Then the
Yeah.
blanket would fall, but yeah, it was fun. All good. We didn't care about, it's not about the finish time whatsoever. And
Of course, not at all.
was
For me,
great.
I wanted to get it done because I had first communion for my oldest daughter.
yeah, you were quick out of there. I think I saw you and you were off.
It's really sucked because I love
Mm-hmm.
nothing more than hanging out with everybody after a race. It's
Yeah,
the best.
it's
and
one
the
of the best
infield
parts.
there, Athletic Annex has a tent. Other people have tents. Ainsley's Angels has a tent there. And so, oh man, I really wanted to hang out longer. I mean, my friend Ashley Haynes was there and I saw her for like a second and then I ended up leaving. I felt so bad. And, there are a few other people I saw that I didn't really get to talk to. But yeah, first things first, I went back. I didn't wash my hair because I got a blowout for the event. And I was like, you know what? I didn't sweat that much because it was cold. So just rocked my blowout that was like slept on and
That's
whatever.
okay.
But it worked out. Made it in plenty of time. So that was good.
Awesome.
And then 2 soccer games too. And then hosted my family. I mean, it's just nuts. Absolute chaos.
It's May's always a busy month. And then
Yes.
it always, the mini is always that first weekend when there's so much going on as well. Yeah, we had a jam-packed weekend as well. I felt like it was just go, go, go. It's always so funny because we typically go to Rev. It's an event at the Speedway.
Right. Oh, you didn't go?
No, we did. But it's
Oh.
so funny. It's like, I don't go to the Speedway all year round. And then one day a year, I go twice.
It is kind of funny.
Yeah, and it's funny to be there like running and then back later in the night when you're all dressed up and it's like a totally different vibe. It's
Yes.
just totally transformed. So it was a busy day.
Yeah, I want to go to Rev next year because I think I've got Rob Perez, my friend from Marine Corps, who's like DC running royalty. I sent him the video that I made and I said, here you go. You need to come to this. And he said, I think next year's the year. And I was like, okay, I'm going to hold you to that. I will remind you.
Yeah, that would be so fun.
That would be so much fun. And so I was like, oh, he has to go to Rev, right? Like, and experience that. And I'm like, well, then I would have to go. And I've never been. I love Zubilation. I used to go to that every year. I don't anymore, but I've never been to Rev. So
Make it happen.
I certainly know I could handle it because it's always a lot that day.
It's a
that
really fun
weekend.
event too.
Yeah. I would say for anybody who's interested in being part of Ainsley's Angels, just go to ainsleysangels.org, click the button that says join now, and then you'll start getting emails that have information about upcoming race opportunities. You choose your region that you're from.
So for sure, beyond local here, the mini, there's other opportunities to get involved. If you don't feel up for doing a full half marathon, do a 5K, something smaller.
I did the Hit the Bricks 5K in Zionsville last year. And they also, I've already got an email about the Air Force Marathon in September. I'm like, oh, I want to do them all. I would love to do them all. But you're right. We are now in the midst of our FOMO training.
Yes, we have a big
Peak week.
here. We have our longest long run approaching. And up until this point, it's been great that we've coordinated our schedules quite well and managed to at least run the majority of the long runs together, whether it's you and I or a group of 4 of us or more even.
Yeah.
But this week is not working out in our favor. And we both have Friday conflicts. So Thursday works best, but unfortunately not at the same time.
Yeah. I know.
I know. It's bad. So
It's
I
bad.
need to go in the morning and you can't go until noonish.
Which is not ideal either, right? But, I guess training for an ultra, running on tired legs and running throughout the entire day is what I'm going to need
At
to
a
be
different
doing,
time of
so-
day. Yeah. And the goal for this long run is time on feet. It's not to hit a certain pace or
Absolutely, yeah.
it's
Which
chill.
helps
Yeah.
my mindset, but
It helps, but it's also like a long time to run.
yeah, it's a really long time, like 3.5 hours. I'm just thinking, okay, I'm my friend Mark Glover, he might come run a few miles with me. I messaged Logan Turner and I was like, hey, what kind of mileage you got this week? Like, you want to run some miles on Thursday? And I'm just like, who else can I rope into this? Because it is
free.
I've
someone
so
that's free midday.
Right. So we'll see. I don't know. I'm like, okay, somebody's got to give me like a really good audiobook that I'll like get really into, or I'll just queue up some podcast episodes that I've been meaning to listen to. So yeah, 22 miles is the longest long run I've ever done training for something. I've never gone over 20 miles for a marathon training block. So it's just kind of a weird mental thing, I guess.
It
like
is.
Those extra two.
The extra two seem like a lot, but it's really not. Like once you get past 15 miles, I feel like what's another couple more? I mean, it'll go by quick.
What's another
seven more?
What's
it's
another
just
hour?
another hour. I do feel like time is such a weird thing when you're running for a long time, though, because when you say like I'm going to be out for 3.5 hours, that seems like a long time, but in the moment, it doesn't seem that long. At least I don't think so.
It depends on what part of the run you're in.
Yeah.
When it's done, you're like, oh yeah, that didn't take that long. But when you're
we'll
thinking
get
about it, and
through
you're in the
it.
first mile, you're like, okay, but
you can't think about it in the first mile. But
no.
yeah.
So
we'll figure out something so you're entertained.
Yeah. It'll be fine. I'll get it done. But yeah, I just didn't do a good job of mapping out my schedule for the training because we kind of decided last minute. And so I'm interviewing somebody who took the day off work to do a podcast interview. And so I'm like, well, I can't ask her to move it. So I did it to myself. But then my kid has a fun run at her school on Friday. So that's my conflict. And then I'm also the mystery reader at school that same day in the like afternoon, but it would still be like a conflict probably. So,
I can't do it either. My kids have a 2-hour late start on Friday for some reason. And then I have to go to work. So it wouldn't, I wouldn't have a time frame in there either. So we're going to get it done. Poor Renee too. And Becky are both solo.
I know. Yeah. We'll figure it out. But I have I'm going to the Blood Cancer United gala that's next.
Are
that's
you?
on Friday.
Okay.
Yeah. To celebrate Carly Trulock Quinn, who was on my podcast recently, Fisher's Run Club. The Geyers so kindly invited Zach and I. And so we're going to go. And Zach's like, are you sure that's not too much? And I'm like, look at what last weekend was like. Because on Saturday, May, what is that, 9th? Is the rookie run. So I have on Saturday the rookie run, Sloane's birthday party, and then 2 soccer games that I think we're missing. So, and I don't think we have anything that night. So it won't be too bad, I don't think.
Yeah, you'll get
Not
through.
compared to the mini weekend.
Okay, before we wrap up, I have to do some like Team RMR shout outs.
You better shout out Lena.
There's been a lot of racing going on. So Scott, he had a huge PR at Jersey City Marathon. So Scott Sharp, huge PR, such a good day for him. This past weekend was obviously the mini. So we had a bunch of athletes running, some that were just running for fun, like yourself, some that did PR. So 2, Lisa Brene and Jennifer Nye, both PR'd. So that was huge. And those are both 2 like well-deserved, a lot of time in the making there. So
you know what?
Amazing.
I ran into Lisa as I was getting my medal.
Yeah, okay.
You actually, in the video I posted of the medal, you can hear me go, oh, hi, Lisa, like, congrats,
That's
I was like in the
awesome.
middle of recording a video and like getting my medal. And so I didn't really get to hear about her race at all, but I saw later that she had PR'd.
She passed me on the track, I want to say, and she's like, I think I'm going too fast. And I was like, no, you're not. You got this. Keep going. And she had a great PR. And obviously it's not all about the PR. So shout out to my other athlete, Matt Mitchell. He paced a friend to a PR in the
That's
half.
nice.
So that was awesome. He dedicated his day to that. Levi Best, he did not have a PR. He was a minute shy, but he had gone through a whole heart issue this past winter where he had to take a whole month off of running and was getting back into it. He's in the process of moving, just a lot of life stuff. So it was a big day for him. Who else? We now are going to move on to Christy, my friend that I mentioned, my runner that I mentioned that I just met for the first time in person. So she did the 5K and the half. So that was a big accomplishment, her first time ever doing both of those. Then Lena at Vancouver. She went back and looked and it was 80 degrees. So it was so hot. Yes.
I can just hear her talking about it.
Yeah, I mean, you have to
Sorry,
see
Lena.
the finish picture that she was showered and dressed, but her finish with her medal is just hysterical.
I love that. Yeah, it is funny.
So she had fun. She has great things to say about Vancouver. It was great crowd and just really fun race. Oh yeah, and then shout out to the athletes that are continuing to train for Carmel on May 31st. So that's a big deal to continue now the next 6 weeks of training. So I have a few of those that are continuing on, and we'll do the marathon the day after the full moon.
Yeah, I'm really hoping that I will be in a position to cheer. I told Jay, the race director, that I would still have my, my tent and my microphone and the music, and I'm planning to do that.
Yeah.
So we're just gonna need. I'm gonna need like a beach chair and just like a bullhorn and just lay there and be like, "Good job."
I'm sure you'll be full of energy. One more person. We have to shout out to Alex Baker, who finished London Marathon.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
So that was his
best for last.
That was his 5th star. He's an amazing charity runner. If anyone doesn't follow Catch Up to Cancer, you should do so. Also, he has
mustard and ketchup. Not
ketchup.
Yeah.
KETCHUP.
Yeah.
He now is a charity for Monumental. So he has charity bibs to run Monumental full and half marathon. So
that's awesome.
That is going to include a little bit of coaching support from yours truly as well if you become part of his catch-up crew. So
that's good to know.
Definitely worth checking out if that's something that interests you.
Yeah, go Alex. I got to hug him at the mini.
Yeah, he was in costume. He was going to run, but he got home extremely late Friday night.
I'm proud of him for spectating. Instead.
Yeah. And that's a big job itself. So much to celebrate right now, and that we'll continue to do for the rest of the month here.
Yeah, and then when you and I meet again, we will have been fresh off of our first ultra marathon.
We might still be walking funny down the stairs.
God willing, we will have completed it. Yeah. Oh, this is so fun.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm going to write a detailed recap too for anybody who wants like all the details, but a lot of times that's mainly for me so I remember it all too. Mm-hmm. So,
okay.
Yay. Congrats
Time to wrap it up.
All right. Thanks everybody for listening. Happy running. We'll see you next month.
Thank you.
If you do one thing after listening to this episode, head to the show notes and sign up for Finish Lines and Milestones emails. I do send a weekly Friday email talking about the episode of the week, products I love, my own personal running journey, and I try to make them not suck. So that would be a great way to support the show. You can also, of course, share it with your friends, submit a rating or a review. That helps others find the show as well. So this Friday is my regularly scheduled episode of the week, and I am interviewing the Joneses. I've got Jonathan and Jess Jones, who just are fresh off the Boston Marathon. He had a huge PR, and Jess is so close to cracking that 3-hour barrier. They are opening a running store in Hamilton, Ohio this summer. So I loved getting a chance to meet them, talk about their running journeys, and hear a little bit about what it's like to start a running store from scratch. So come back on Friday for that episode, and I'll talk to you then. Bye.